Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, grab a seat. Come on in and hit that light, hit that light. Oh, you're Aunt Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. Grab a seat, prop your feet. Let's sip some tea, sip that tea. Entertainment, news, and spirituality. From the culture to the fun, Auntie sets the tone. Sets the tone. With a laugh and a truth, she holds the throne. She holds the throne, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Come on in now. Auntie Mickey's house. Oh, Auntie's house. You're in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat, yeah, yeah. Come on in and hit that like, don't forget now. Auntie Mickey's house. She can roast with a smile, drop wisdom too. Break down the headlines, bring it straight to you. Straight to you, baby. Community strong, conversation grown. Real talk, baby. Auntie Mickey's house, make yourself at home, yeah. Come together, every voice is heard. Every voice. Respect the vibe, let's share the word. Oh, yeah. From the jokes to the prayer, she keeps it real. Keeps it real. Auntie Mickey's house, that's the deal. That's the deal, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. Oh yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. Known in the house. You know you're in the house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat. Come on in and hit the light. Hit the light, hit the light. You're at Auntie Mickey's. Yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. It's Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. You're in her house. You know you're in her house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat, come on in and hit that light. Hit that light. Oh, you're at Auntie Mickey's. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Auntie's house. Auntie's house. Auntie's house. Grab a seat, drop your feet, let's sip some tea. Sip that tea. Entertainment, news, and spirituality. From the culture to the fun, Auntie sets the tone. With a laugh and a truth, she holds the throne. She holds the throne, yeah. Auntie's house. Oh, Auntie's house. You know you're in her house. Come on in and grab a seat, yeah. Come on in and hit that light, don't forget. Auntie Mickey's. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie Mickey's house. Oh yeah, yeah. She can roast with a smile, drop wisdom too. Break down the headlines, bring it straight to you. Straight to you, baby. Community strong, conversation grown. Don't talk, baby. Auntie Mickey's house. Make yourself at home, yeah. Come together, every voice is heard. Every voice. Respect the vibe, let's share the word. Oh yeah. From the jokes to the prayers, she keeps it real. Keeps it real, keeps it real. That's the deal. That's the deal, baby. Yeah, yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. Auntie's house. Oh yeah. Auntie Mickey's house. You know you're in a house. Come on in and grab a seat. Grab a seat. Come on in. hit that light, hit the light. Oh, your way to Auntie Mickey's. Yeah. Auntie Mickey's house, Auntie Mickey's house, Auntie Mickey's house. Oh.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday. I know this is out of the norm for me, but hey, what can I say? I had something to talk about. I have something to follow up about. So how is everybody doing in the house today? Let's see. I see my babies up in here. Hey, Rachel. Hello, Mr. Phillips. Babaswamy. Hello, Babaswamy. How are you? Good to see you. Wait a minute. That face looks familiar. My glasses is defeating me, so I hope everybody's doing pretty well today for a Sunday. Hey, Dawn, how are you, my love? How are you? I am definitely trying to take it easy today, but you know I had to check back in after yesterday because yesterday's live was it really, really bothered me. And I looked a lot more into this. Hello, Cassie. How are you, sweetie? I really looked a lot into this particular case, and it was like going down a rabbit hole, not just for her situation, but everybody that's meeting this particular situation. You know, hey, Satin Doll. Hello. It's football Sunday in the house. That's right. I think my husband's watching football downstairs too, even though he's up in the chat. Hey, baby, I see you. But yeah, for those of you who didn't come yesterday, I talked about the DC squatter, which seems to be a viral story at this point in time. This young lady, Shadija Romero, what is it? Romero. Told you I'm geriatric. She went into an agreement with the landlord, so to speak. The lady that owns the property, that owns the house, opened it up as an Airbnb, which of course is considered short term. Okay. Short term. It's not a rental in terms of, you know, the same situation as a tenant. You know, this is just a short term, similar to going into a hotel, for that matter. But, you know, there's some scammers out there that's taking this particular, depending on what state you're in, the laws that make it possible to remain on a property and not pay rent for months because it drags through the court system. Now, that's if you go through the court system. Now, like I said yesterday, I'm not going to court to make anybody leave, especially if you're only supposed to be there for a short period of time. I got a bat that will make you leave, and I ain't got to spend 30 grand on attorneys or court costs or any of that to get your ass up out of there. Point blank, period. But this lady, this homeowner, she was trying to do the right thing. God bless her. It cost her a lot of money in the process. And now her mortgage has jumped from $4,000 a month to $10,000 a month because this heifer wouldn't leave and she wasn't paying her. And that's some despicable mess. I'm sorry. But now that she's out, now that the squatter is out, come to find out this ain't her first rodeo. She's done this before. And I think I also mentioned it yesterday. If you know, you know. We know somebody else who's definitely done this kind of thing before. I pulled up his court documents yesterday showing he had been 18 grand behind in rent. And just sat there squatted in that woman's place until they had to throw him out. Literally. That's the game. So anybody out there that has rental property of any kind and you just want to do the Airbnb, be aware of your state laws, even your city ordinances, depending on what city you're in. Hi, Retretta. How are you, love? Be aware of your city and state laws and ordinances on what constitutes a short term versus a tenant. Because once that one day is crossed over, they can consider themselves as tenants. And then you're in for a whole new ball game. Whole new ball game. So, like I said, Shadija Romero, I keep pronouncing her name is Romeo. She's definitely not Romeo. She's done this before. Now, since all this has happened, apparently she's put her Instagram she's put her Instagram account on private. So I guess people were probably harassing her or whatnot. Hey, Q Rock, how are you? Good to see you, love. So yeah, I didn't expect a whole lot of people to show up today because I don't normally go on this early or on the weekends for that matter. So, but I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. It ain't gonna take long. It really isn't. But now that she's out, let's see what she has to say. Let me see what she has to say. Hold on just a second. Actually, I'll introduce you to her first. Let me introduce you to this woman. Like I said, her name is Shadija Romero. This is Shadija. Yeah. This is Shadija. She owns a business, of course, and she has a nonprofit. This article says, we're excited to introduce you to the always interesting and insightful Shadija Romero. We hope you'll enjoy our conversation with Shadija below. Now, I'm not going to go off into a whole hoopla about her, but this is what she does. She's got a whole nonprofit and a business online. This is the young lady that squatted. I really don't remember what I've told the readers before, so let's hope I'm not being redundant. I'm a proud Afro-Latina. My father's side of my family originates from the Dominican Republic, while my mother's side is African American, originating from the southern states. Self-care is something I wholeheartedly believe in. Weekly flowers, music, creating, being naked, and sitting in the sun are a few of my loves. Hello, down south Stitcher. I have 2 beautiful daughters and a slew of girls I mentor through my nonprofit. My business allows me to give back by contributing a portion of its profits to the causes of the organization. The name of our organization is With Love Deja. With Love Deja provides me the opportunity to do one of the things I love the most, which is share love and squat in other people's property, rent-free. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry, that's not what that says. Everything is not only made with love, but packaged with love. Vibe checks are mandatory before interacting with products to ensure our best is always received. We create fun shirts, moisturizing and revitalizing body products, fragrant home products, and more. Oh, she's having her best life. Look at that. Having a ball. It makes me pretty ill, actually, to see that somebody like this is out there capitalizing. So, like I said, she's now out. She's been evicted. Hi, Camille. She's been evicted from the property. And she has something to say. But like most con artists, they lie. And we've seen enough to know that what she says in these lies, or in these statements, are lies. Hold on just a second. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up the news report first. Hold on just a second.
Me, and I can't get into my property. There's a leak in the property. The water bill is escalating. I can't get in there to see what's going on.
A D.C. homeowner claiming an Airbnb guest has overstayed their welcome and will not leave. In this story, you'll only see on 7 News. We're digging into D.C. law, finding out there's not much that homeowner can do. Our Washington, D.C. reporter Felicia Ashley spoke with the homeowner and tried to speak with the alleged squatter.
The alleged squatter originally got into the home through Airbnb, claiming that her apartment caught fire and it needed time to get repairs. Now, that was back in February. Rochanne Douglas says she didn't know she was opening her life up to a nightmare when she accepted Shadija Romero's Airbnb reservation almost 10 months ago. That reservation ended March 29th, after 32 days, and Romero hasn't paid another dime.
I'm sorry. I got a bad habit of muting. What I was going to say is that she threw that blanket up there, Camille, because she didn't want the sign shown that the property owner put up there to let everybody know that there's a squatter staying in her house. So, let me continue. My bad.
But living in the home for over a month apparently lets her claim some form of tenant rights, and she refuses to let Rochanne enter the property.
I never gave her any tenancy. I never gave her a lease.
Rochanne tried everything, gave her a 30-day notice to vacate, called police, went to court, and even offered Romero $2,500 to sign a paper admitting she's not a tenant and to get out.
Offered her $2,500. $2,500 to get out. You need some money to move. Here you go. I'll pay you to leave. And she still wouldn't live up to the agreement. Now I'm wondering if she took that money. That's my question.
Romero signed the document, but didn't budge.
And November the 15th came and she told me, this no longer works for me. Do what you have to do. I'm not leaving. I went to the police with my order, and they said there's nothing that they can do, that I need to go to court, which I've done, and I do not have a court date until December the 11th.
Rochanne put this sign up on her home so police and neighbors would know Romero was not authorized to be there. A sign Romero covered with a sheet.
I need police assistance.
I was there when police helped Rochanne cut it down, while Romero hid inside.
It's shocking to me that you would abuse a system like that.
While all this is going on, Romero's social media shows her living her best life on trips and promoting her nonprofit. And Rochanne is left paying thousands in attorney fees.
Y'all saw that, right? Her social media. She's on her social media, literally living her best life. All over social media while she's squatting in this woman's house. I think that one video was of her in Jamaica. You got time to go to Jamaica, but you can't. So if she signed that agreement, I believe she definitely took that money. Well, probably did. And that all the more reason to pull the bat out. I'm sorry. All the more reason. Now you taking money from me, but you still ain't leaving. If that's the case. But she did sign that document, and that's what her demise was at that point.
The mortgage and utilities for a home she can't even enter. I tried to get some answers from Romero, who was clearly inside the home, but she never came to the door. When a person walked out to her car, they didn't want to talk to us either. Rochanne is waiting now for her court date next week, where she's hoping the judge's decision will allow U.S. Marshals to force her unwanted guest out once and for all. For now, reporting from Northeast D.C., Felicia Ashley, 7 News.
Yeah, she's a hot mess. She's a real hot mess. And again, this is one of those situations where you're trying to do the right thing. You're trying to go by the book. You're trying to do everything legally. And it seems as though that the property owner got screwed more so than this chick here. Honestly. It's deplorable, but this is going on all over the place, all over this country. Hold on just a second. Let's see. Let's hear what this heifer has to say. Now that she's out, let's hear what she has to say.
I have had people reaching out to the stores that my products in. I've had people reaching out to the schools that I have mentored girls in. I've had people reaching out to organizations that I've done free events for. Mind you, about 98 to 99% of the work that I have done has been from me. Even when I've needed help, I've helped because I've always thought there's somebody out here worse than me.
Here we go. Here we go. The poor me, but I'm such a noble person. Hello, Catherine. The poor me, that I'm on the verge of tears. And I'm the victim. This is a clear case of narcissism at its finest. She's got her. But she thinks she can gaslight everybody with this quiet demeanor. I have a nonprofit and I help everybody. But in the process, you're screwing everybody that you can.
Today in court, it was proven, or it was admitted, that the false narrative that I have been staying at a place since February and that someone has been trying to get me out since March, it was untrue.
And that's a lie. Lie number one. Let me get somebody to take, let's see if somebody can keep up with her and keep track of the lies. There's strike one. Lie number one.
It was not true. The narrative that I had been staying at a place since February and had not made a payment since March,
Yeah, she had to start
That
that video
was
over.
also untrue. It was admitted on record that payments had been received up until the end of September.
And that's a lie. There were no documents in court verifying that other payments were received. That was a lie. There's lie number 2. Yeah, Camille, cry me a freaking river. That's lie number 2. See, there's one thing about this particular situation is that cameras were not allowed in the courtroom. So I guess she figured that she could tell people anything. But what she failed to realize is that there was a reporter in the courtroom. Yeah. Lie number 2. That's right.
Now there is a payment in question. Somehow that payment wasn't received. I don't know, but there's only one payment in question. So
Lie number 3. There's no payments in question. The only payments in question is the ones you were never made. That's what's in question. These lies are totaling up real fast, boo-boo. Real fast. 3 lies in one short little video because she thinks she can gaslight the public. I would like to see how she gets out of this one and gets another place because her face, her story is all over social media, all over YouTube. That's right, lie number 3.
the narrative that I have been staying at a place since March and not making any payments, it was untrue. Documentation was provided that showed that I did not initiate the switching from Airbnb to direct payments to the owner and some scheme to circumvent a process that wasn't the case.
She studied just what to do to get from being a short stay to a tenant. She studied that because when she initially asked for this stay, she specifically indicated 32 days, which is 1 day over the cutoff to make you a tenant. So there we go with lie number 4.
Direct payments were sent. Those direct links were sent willingly.
Just lying.
Not only willingly, but they were initiated by the other party.
Wrong. Think of another lie.
Although it was decided that I don't have tenant rights, those things were untrue. And to get on the news to say things that are untrue shows a lot about a person's character and shows that they had
her character. Yes, lie number 5. Her character has been exposed because let the record show if the judge says you're not a tenant, because basically they've been tiptoeing around trying not to do the wrong thing and found that this woman admitted that she was not a tenant. Remember the $2,500 that was offered to her? She admitted in that documentation that she was not a tenant. So I guess you lied on yourself.
malicious intent because they knew it would go off like this. And the thing about the truth is that the truth doesn't always, it's not heard as loud as the lie is. So the damage that this has caused, irreparable.
Yeah, to her. To her.
I'm going to take some time away because, as I said, this has been the hardest. Everything that I do with my business, I do it with love. Everything I do with my nonprofit, I do with love.
Y'all hear the violins playing in the background. La 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 la. Poor me. I love. I do for everyone. And I'm the one that's being victimized here. Yeah. Off her freaking rocker, Retretta. She's gaslighting the public, and they throwing it right back in her face. So much so that she had to put her Instagram on private.
And I can't do either right now
The
with the
manipulation.
amount of pain that is in my heart. To those who waited to make their judgment to get the facts that the shit just wasn't true.
It was true. And you're gaslighting the public. You're trying to throw sympathy out there with your calm demeanor and your tears. And nobody's buying it. Nobody. Nobody's buying it. I hope they check out her nonprofit. I mean, for real. I would definitely, if I were somebody in the court system, I'd be looking into her little side hustle, because this hustle right here is really bad.
Thank you to the people who made their decision and left comments, the people who know me or who have known me. Fuck y'all. And y'all wouldn't say it to my face.
Wow.
I wish, as I always wish, I hope you know love up close. And the thing about it is, when you know love up close, you move differently.
Mm.
You don't move to find things about somebody and break them down. You don't do that.
You don't move into somebody's apartment and refuse to leave because you've suddenly become a tenant, but you won't pay rent. Yeah, nope. A bunch of comments, no receipts. Liar. That's exactly what she is. She's a liar because the receipts say otherwise.
You don't make fake pages and fake numbers to harass people. You don't do that when you move in with love and when you know love up close. And because I know love up close, I know I will be okay. I might not be okay in this moment, but I will be, because I have some people who will make sure that when I'm too deep in the trenches, they pull me out.
Uh-huh. Yeah. You hope you find another victim. You hope you find another victim that is not up to speed on what's been going on. You depend on people that are unaware of what's going on in their city, that people just like yourself are out there ready to take advantage of people. This is the worst scammer. This is the worst of the scammers, the ones that play on your heartstrings. They tug on your heartstrings. Poor me. Poor me. I work in love. I operate in love. It wasn't very lovable when you went and changed the locks on that woman's house. Absolutely. She's using those people too. You're out. You're out. It's time to move on. You know what? I don't know how she gonna get out of this, because if she's using her same name, nobody's gonna rent to her. Nobody's gonna give her an Airbnb. Nobody's gonna do anything. She's gonna have to stay in her car and suffer the repercussions of what she's done, because this is wrong as hell. Here we are around damn holidays, and you trying to live rent free. You've already lived rent free since February. Girl, please, girl, bye.
That's all I got.
That's all you got. That's all you get. Whatever.
I have
Whatever. Whatever. I'm sorry. I have no sympathy for people like that. And like I said, we've already had our uh, issue with someone who has been guilty of this. Absolutely, Retretta. The world knows. Everybody on TikTok, everybody on Instagram, you name it, YouTube, They are talking about you, boo boo. They are talking about you in a major way. So your tears, all that love, love, love ain't gonna get you nowhere. You might as well get on the good foot and do something about it. But one thing is for sure, you need to know. Oops, sorry. Hold on. You need to know what rights you have as a landlord. Hi, Pody. Oh, bless your heart. Thank you. I'm an avatar today because I look like death and sin. I will not cam up today. No. But I pulled up some information on this because, like I said, this really disturbed me. This whole thing really disturbed me, and I did some deep diving uh, to find out just what the laws say. Hold on, just a second. Let me pull that up. This is some information that is going to be useful to somebody. You just got to take the time to look it up. It says many states and cities use a 30 or 31-day mark as the common cutoff for short-term rentals, STRs. Shifting from STR rules to landlord-tenant laws, with Missouri 31 days and New York City 30 days being specific examples, where exceeding this often triggers different regulations, while places like Washington State, right here where I live, and Minnesota typically define STRs as under 30 days, making the 31st day the point of change. So, in essence, depending on what state you live in, those statutes, even one day can make the biggest change. States and cities with near 30 and 31-day cutoffs, Missouri, often considers stays of 31 consecutive days or less as short-term rentals requiring permits. New York City prohibits rentals under 30 days unless the host is present, classifying longer stays as traditional rentals. Washington, that's my state. Local rules vary, but many cities like Seattle set the threshold at under 30 consecutive nights. Minnesota typically defines short-term rentals as 30 consecutive days or less. Clearwater Beach, Florida, prohibits rentals for less than 31 days or a calendar month in residential zones. Why this matters? Legal classification. Crossing the 30 or 31-day threshold often moves a property from being regulated as an STR, short-term rental, requiring permits, taxes, specific rules, to being classified as a long-term rental, subject to standard landlord and tenant eviction laws, lease requirements, and housing codes. Local control. State laws are often broad with specific rules like STR caps, licensing, set by individual cities and countries, so checking local ordinances is crucial. Pody says the poor homeowner in this, she seems like such a kind and compassionate person. Maybe she can't be anymore, or some other person might try to take advantage of that kindness. Absolutely. This is the fallout, Pody. This is the fallout. You get people out there that really want to do the right thing for people. You come in as being in a bind, and all it is, it's a scam to take advantage of you. This woman went into debt trying to get this woman out the correct way. And I'm sorry. Like I said yesterday, I'm not going to be that nice if somebody comes into my house, because this doesn't even necessarily have to be a rental, uh, you know, anything of that nature. You can let somebody spend the night at your house. In some cities, that's considered as short term, but you let them stay a little longer, and then suddenly they're not leaving because it's rolled over into something else and they're considered a tenant. And I'll be damned if I let somebody come and sleep on my couch for 5 days and on day 6 you don't get up and go. You got to go either through the back door or the back window or the front door. One way or another, you leaving, and I'm not going to court to make you leave. Point blank, period. But this is what happens because we have jacked up laws in the states because they're very tenant they're very sympathetic to tenants, but they're not considering what their laws are doing to throw them in the squatter category. In summary, look for 30-day or 31-day marks in state laws like Missouri or local ordinances like New York City or Seattle's to find where the short-term rental definition ends and traditional tenancies begin. So it's imperative if you're going to have any kind of rental or Airbnb situations, just know what the cutoff date of your property is. Know the cutoff date. Absolutely, Catherine. She said that her mortgage payments for the month was going from $4,000 to $10,000 because of this incident. I think that she is going to have to sell her home if she can't afford the mortgage now, and that's exactly what she's going to end up having to do. She can't afford 10 grand a month. She had to pay 30,000 in just legal fees to get this heifer out of there. So who got the worst part of the deal? Hi, Lisa. She got screwed. Now, I'm not a proponent of breaking the law. Trust me. I'm not a proponent of breaking the law. But one thing is for damn sure. I'm not going to go broke trying to do the right thing when I can get it done a lot quicker. And I ain't got to go upside your head. I'll just make you think I will. Okay, Bodie. Bodie said, through the window, LOL, I'm in Canada. Our laws in Ontario really can favor the tenants too, especially the bad tenants. And that's sad. That's sad. That makes it bad for those that really do go in with the right thing in mind, to respect someone's property, respect someone else's rights to their own property. This woman had no consideration other than, let me see how I'm going to get away with paying no rent or paying for somewhere to stay. And looking at some of the shit that they took out of that place, she moved in. She did not intend to leave. Absolutely. I wish so too, Catherine, but when they come with that sob story, with the gaslighting, I don't have any money. Well, you gonna pay somehow. Maybe she should get a free room at the local jail. Maybe that will deter people like that from doing this. You need somewhere to stay, breaking the law. See, this needs to be a law that you're breaking the law when you do this. When they find that she's manipulated or someone has manipulated the law to get a free place to stay, they should then be charged criminally. And if that's the case, if you have been charged criminally, the next step is to give you somewhere to stay, a room at the jail. That'll deter a lot of this. Because what ends up happening with there's being no repercussions. Oh, I'm broke. I can't afford to pay her all that back rent. And if you can't draw blood from a turnip. But I tell you what, you don't want to go to jail, you're going to stop doing this shit. You're going to stop doing this shit. Get a tent. Live in your car if that's what you got to do. But you do not have the right to take over someone else's property because your behind doesn't want to pay rent. Now she had money to go on vacation. She had the money. There you go. Free room and board at the jail. Free room and board at the jail. But no, you want to live in this woman's house, moving some of your own crap in there. She had tons of plants and all kinds of stuff up in there because she had no intention of leaving that woman's house. None. None at all. Hold on just a second. For those that didn't see this the first time. Hold on. Now, like I said earlier, this ain't her first rodeo. This ain't her first rodeo, y'all. She's done this before.
New tonight, another twist in a bizarre Airbnb battle. 7 News has exclusively told you about a homeowner in Northeast D.C. who says a squatter has taken over her short-term rental. But that alleged squatter claims she's a tenant with rights. All new at 6 o'clock. Our Felicia Ashley is learning this isn't the first time the so-called unwanted guest has refused to leave a property.
I found court records revealing that Romero stayed in multiple properties in and around D.C. rent-free for months while they went through the eviction process.
Now, this video clip here, this news report was prior to the judge saying you got to go. But this report shows that this woman has done this in the past.
Court records show at your previous apartment, you were also getting evicted for not paying rent. And
So that wasn't for that place. It was for a previous place where something happened during COVID when everyone was not receiving payment. I'm an entrepreneur and I also have a nonprofit.
Court records show Shadija Romero faced eviction from 2 other D.C. properties before booking Rochanne Douglas's Airbnb nearly a year ago.
Two other properties. Now you see how she gaslighted this woman? She did this 2 other times prior to this current woman. 2 other times. She's been doing this for a long time. But she lies. She's a liar and she's a gaslighter.
I reviewed the records with real estate attorney Rich Bianco.
Scrolling down the docket here, she knows what she's doing. So this isn't the first rodeo.
Court records show that in October 2021, she had a year lease at the Jameson at Dakota Apartments. Those owners also filed a suit against Romero. It shows she stayed months past the end of her lease and did not pay anything between May 2022 and January 2023.
All the way back to 2021, she's been pulling this kind of crap. No payments to Jameson at Dakota Apartments from May 2022 to January of 2023. This is some BS. And for some odd reason, she's able to go from one place to another. But how she does it is that she'll secure a place just before she's evicted from the first place. That's how she plays the game.
She also signed a legal agreement to pay the Jameson $35,000 in back rent, but she did not follow through with that agreement. She was officially evicted 8 months after she stopped paying.
I did not go to court for eviction for Ava Noma.
5 days after she was evicted from the Jameson, records show she moved into Ava Noma. She paid 1 month's rent and owes them nearly $50,000. The property tried to evict her multiple times.
$50,000. $50,000. That's just the second place. How much was the first place? What, 30,000? I think they said. $50,000 the second place. Y'all remember who we talking about now? This other person we know, where he rented space from a mall and ended up owing them $60,000 for non-payment. Absolutely, Pody. Absolutely.
But there was a fire, which I confirmed with DC Fire and EMS started in her unit while she was there. Ava Noma is the one showing that you were in the process of being evicted for paying 1 month's rent when you were there for 13.
So no, that would not be accurate.
Again,
Lie. What does that make it? Lie number 6? 5 or 6? I'm losing count. I'm losing count here. Lie number 6. Check this out.
and court documents show Romero filed a motion to delay the eviction, this time citing the fire and saying insurance needed to see the damage in the unit. She booked the Airbnb as she was getting evicted from that property.
There you go.
I found multiple tenant and landlord cases against her in and around DC when she went by a different name at the time. In addition to that, I saw at least a dozen liens against her, as well as a case claiming that she paid for a down payment for a vehicle and made no other payments after that. Now, since these discoveries, Romero has said that she is not speaking to us anymore. For now, reporting from the DC Bureau, Felicia Ashley, 7 News.
I wonder why she's not speaking to them anymore, because they're on her ass. She had another name. She was using another name. Because that's what these people do. That's what these people do. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. She's been playing this role for a minute now.
Tonight, 7 News on your side, continuing pressing DC leaders if they plan to change any laws to help prevent squatting.
Our exclusive reporting getting results for a Northeast homeowner who now has her home back from that squatter. 7 News Washington, D.C. reporter Felicia Ashley joining us live now with the changes people want to see.
That's right. Well, people overwhelmingly expressed their disgust with the situation, as well as the process that it took to stop it. We were there as DC homeowner Rochanne Douglas evicted her squatter, Shadija Romero. Our exclusive reporting getting thousands of comments from around the world, asking how this happened and what can be done to make sure it doesn't happen again.
You know what, Camille? That's a good question. I'm wondering, have they been able to reach out to any of her family? I'm wondering if they've been able to track down any of her family. I'm wondering if her real name is really Shadija Romero, to be honest about you. Because people like this use aliases. Don't we already know a certain person that was here on YouTube went by one name and went by another name and was stealing dogs and giving people the wrong dog and all this stuff? This is what con artists do. They go by aliases. They make up names. They don't use their real name most of the time. What was his name? Chase? Somebody called him Chase. Yeah, he'd have got chased. Now quiet as it's kept. All this time he been talking about he had more than one dog. He had 3 dogs. He ain't got but 1 dog. Liars will lie. Hello, Barbara. That's what con artists do. They lie to get over on people. And he had a pretty good hustle at the time, but it came crashing in. Now he's sitting over there, Mr. DJ Lovejoy, with 1 dog. Lying still. Man, miss me.
This commenter said, quote, "Now go to your city council and local government." We went right to city council and we also spoke to the mayor today. What has been your reaction to it? And do you think there needs to be some adjustments or reevaluations to some of the housing laws?
Well, that's what I've been talking about for at least a year, is that we have to have a focus on people paying their rent, and that the courts and our laws ensuring that people do that.
Councilman Zachary Parker gave us this statement saying, "I am glad that yesterday's court ruling brought a resolution to this case. My team and I are reviewing district laws to better understand how this was allowed to happen."
To get squatted on like that is crazy.
The community overwhelmingly expressed they want a change and showed up to the home to make sure it starts on 20th Street.
I appreciate her neighbors, this woman's neighbors. Remember, she does not live in Washington, D.C. She lives in Maryland. And the amount of money and time that she had to take away from her regular life to come and deal with this situation had to be more than a notion. For her to have to travel from Maryland to D.C. just to address these issues of a property that she can't even get inside. This woman had her locked out. This woman tried to change the utility bill into her name, things like that, to manipulate the system so she can just walk away without paying a dime. And in the meantime, this woman is going to lose her property, or could possibly lose her property, because this woman is definitely draining the well dry. Now her mortgage is up to $10,000. What do you think they're going to do? Do you think the mortgage company cares about this scam that happened to her? This plays in their favor. So laws need to change, and people need to make sure that they report to their local congressmen, senators, whatever, in your state, your own jurisdiction, and make sure that the laws do not allow this kind of thing to happen to everyday homeowners that have a kind heart or have an extra piece of property that they want to make a little money off of. They're entitled to do that. So I thank God for her community. Even though she doesn't live in this community, these people rallied around her and helped her get this woman out.
Laws need to be changed. That's important.
What brought you out here today?
The viral moment in your story. It's actually all over the world. Do you know that? It's like everywhere, not just in the DMV area, it's everywhere. She's from the whole business out of here, like, for real. I'm trying to put her out too. I think we all just trying to put her out. We all want her out. The whole DMV wants her out of this lady's home.
Groups of onlookers invested in the story said they want to ensure everything is out and that taking advantage of community members stops.
Whatever she need, I'm gonna help her get it out today. Whatever she need, right now today. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So if she need, like, if she got a couple of people out here, and I'm just letting her know that she got the support, she need to get this stuff about this lady house.
You can see the infamous sign that has been hung on this home for some months now, the blanket that Romero put to cover it, obviously taken down at this point. And I spoke to neighbors who told me that Romero did come to the home last night to retrieve some of her items that were put out in the back. Now, coming up at 6, you'll hear more from council members as well as their reactions to our reports. Now, reporting live from Northeast DC, Felicia Ashley, 7 News.
You are absolutely right, Barbara. I think I stopped this tape too quick. But yes, you can't let anybody stay in your house for 30 days or more because they will play that tenant saga. You're absolutely right. Let me see if I can pull that up again, because that video wasn't done. Oh, don't worry about it. It was done enough. But one thing is for sure, we do have the name of her nonprofit. The name of her nonprofit is With Love Deja. With Love Deja. And I'm hoping, because I know the name is still on Google. She took it down off of Instagram. She put it on private on Instagram. But she's clearly gaslighting the public. Absolutely, Barbara. And you ain't gonna lock yourself up in no hotel room either, are you? They gonna bring the police and they gonna make you leave. But this wasn't her first time. This wasn't her first time. And this whole thing has gone viral. It's gone viral. People are hip to her. And I'm sure there's people out here that knew what she was doing and never said a word about it, but it's coming out now. Hold on a second. This is just an example.
Shadija, look, I got one question. Just one question for you. You started that fire in that other rental property to stop the.
She said, you started that fire in that other rental property, didn't you? Ain't nobody stupid.
Eviction process, didn't you? You did. Yeah. Yeah, you might as well just go ahead and tell and say you started that fire. Go ahead. Because everybody is talking about you squatting in the Airbnb in Northeast DC, right? But you've been doing this for years. Years. You literally were in 2 other rental properties before you moved into the Airbnb. Like this.
For years. She said for years. She lives right there in that same location. She said you've been doing this for years.
This goes all the way back to October of 2021. 2021, you paid rent in the first property for like a year, and then you didn't renew the lease, and then you didn't pay for like 8 months, and then they evicted you after you didn't pay for 8 months. Then you moved into another property, and then said they couldn't evict you from there because a fire happened in your unit. And then you ended up owing those people $50,000. And when they finally evicted you from that place, you moved in 5 days later from the last property. I'm still trying to figure out where in DC did they let you move in from one place, like you was already getting ready to move. If you already had another property set in place 5 days later after you lived into the other property, you was already on your move. See, this is your thing. You've been doing this for years and you got a bunch of excuses. Come on now. Yeah, come on. After you left the second property, owing them $50,000, you scooted your ass into the Airbnb. You was running a whole small business from that Airbnb. You were growing plants. You were growing plants in that Airbnb. You had no intention on leaving anytime soon. You wasn't even packed. And the way she evicted you, knowing how a lot of evictions go down here in DC, she was real nice about it. She was real nice. She was placing your things very nicely outside. I know some folks in DC would just put your stuff out and throw it up in a pile outside on the curb, and then you just sort through that shit later. And you've been doing this since October of 2021. You probably was doing it long before that. You probably gonna keep on doing it. And if you started that fire in that apartment, they're gonna put you behind bars, and that's probably what you need to make you stop doing stuff like this. Shadija, look.
I'm telling you, Rachel, I wasn't playing. Had this been somewhere else, see, that lady was nice to her. She put her stuff nicely in bags and set them outside to the point where, they're off the sidewalk. How many times have we seen a movie? We can go back to that Tyler Perry movie where Taraji Henson, her character got evicted and all her shit was out there on the curb. Was that the name? 29? Was that it? All I know is this. That woman came home. She had a bad day. Let's just say she had a bad day. And she came home to find all her stuff on the curb. And we know in some places they put your stuff on the curb. You better hope you got anything left when you get home. Because that neighborhood is they're going to come right on in and take whatever they want, and ain't nothing you can do about it. So she picked a good one. She picked a good one. And unfortunately for that lady, she really got screwed. She got screwed big time. She could possibly lose her property because she can't afford, unless the mortgage company helps her, kind of gives her a break. It's just it's unfortunate that we're living in these times now where we've got laws out here that are supposed to do one thing and they're causing problems in another. And until some of these old fogies, they need to get up off of their, I shouldn't go there, but some of these old cats that's in office, they've got an old mentality. They're not aware of how things are done nowadays. They're on the old good foot. And it's time to get some new, younger people that can think more on their feet. You know what I'm saying? Because this is unacceptable. When this woman has to go through all these lengths to do it the right way. Exactly. Well, they've got those all over the place, but they need to do something about the do not rent lists. Because these people will go up and change their name. It's one thing to put a name on a do not rent list, but if this person isn't going by that name the next time, they're not looking for that name. They're not looking for the new name. So they've got to get real creative in dealing with squatters. I don't remember a time as a kid where people were allowed to squat in somebody's house and claim that they can, be there because I'm a tenant. You can't even prove that you're a tenant. Good deeds. Thank you, Satin. That was it. She came home, found her shit on the curb. Now that's how it's done back in the day. But I guess there's laws to prevent that too. Not up in this camp. I'm telling you, I'm not going to court to evict nobody. I'm not going to court. You gonna get out when I tell you it's time. And I'm not a mean person. I'm not gonna make you leave before your time. But when your time is up, you're not gonna pull these little strings to get your way. Now, I'd rather pay the bail bondsman that money than to pay a court or an attorney on a hope and a prayer that I win. Because it's more or less pay one way or another. I'm going to pay for my bail. That's what I'll do. I'll pay my bail to get out. It would be a first offense. I ain't been to jail for that before. So, I'm pretty sure they'd be lenient if I went upside her head. This first offense. It wouldn't be $30,000. Retretta says, hope that lady has more property in another state. Praying she can get at least half of the $30,000. Auntie, is that squatter here legally? Is she an American citizen the right way? I don't know. I'm assuming so, but who's to say? Who's to say? They didn't have Airbnbs back in our day. You either got a hotel or you got an apartment or you rented a house. And you had to provide proof of income and all this stuff. But do you have to provide proof of income to stay in an Airbnb? That's one of the questions I have. I don't know. Income or no income, she wouldn't leave when it was time to go. She came up with a lie. And because that lady was kind-hearted and didn't know the law, she allowed her a little bit more time. And this is what got her into this mess. We've come into a time now that we can't afford to be nice. Yes, she did. Yes, she did, Camille. I think she lost her daughter first. She just didn't accept it. She was kind of screwed up in the head from losing her daughter. And then it finally came back to her that her daughter was gone. But didn't have a very good day that day. And people will come up to that curb and take your shit. They will take your stuff in a heartbeat. But the laws need to change, and people need to be made aware of the laws in their, if they're going to have that kind of property and conduct that kind of side hustle, at least know what the laws are to protect yourself. This was a cautionary tale. It really was. And it'll cut down on the habitual con artists like you know who and this chick. Because he definitely does this as well. It's not his first rodeo. How does a bum get to stay in Hawaii of all places? Think about it. Hawaii is expensive as hell. And he ain't got it going on like that. Think about it. But anyhow, y'all, I told you I wasn't going to keep you long. I just wanted to give you that update. Because a little bit more did come out that this is a habitual con artist. She's done this in the past. So I'm going to go ahead and end this live. You guys, thank you so much for spending this last hour or so with me. I appreciate you. You guys have a wonderful day. Let's see. Retrita says, I think she is illegal. She has done this too much. Different names remind me of the migrants here illegally. They destroyed their documents at the border. Auntie, I saw them on YouTube. Wow. That's amazing. Nothing surprises me. Nothing surprises me. This country has become very lenient on things like that. So that's another live stream. But again, thank you so much, you guys, for coming. I appreciate you. And you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday evening. Good night.
Hey there, my kinfolk. Thanks for stopping by. Auntie Mickey's house, where we reach for the sky. Every comment and smile, you make my heart glow. Together we're strong, together we grow. From gossip to politics, we cover it all. Sharing laughs and thoughts, having a ball. Your support means everything that I know. Feels like family here in this sweet show. So let's keep it flowing, keep the love alive. Every moment together makes me thrive. You're more than viewers, you're my kinfolk. You see, my gratitude runs deep as the sea. Thank you for being here, for sharing your time with each comment, with each rhyme. You're my kinfolk, my family, my crew. So much love to all of you. Turn up the camera, let's make it bright. Your support lifts me up, takes flight.